Hey guys, so I watched that interview with Kamala Harris, the reporter in my city, Brian Taff. He is the Action News reporter that reports the news every night at 6 o'clock. He had an interview exclusively with VP Kamala Harris. And I'm going to tell you the truth, guys. I don't know. I mean, I watched the interview. I think the interview was about 11 minutes. And it seemed to me for 11 minutes, it seemed longer than an hour. The questions that Brian Tabb asked were softball, in my opinion. There were questions that I would not, with everything that's going on, for real. What world are you in where you ask her the most softballish questions that you would probably ask a 9-year-old? This woman is 59 years old. And you could have asked her questions about, he asked about the economy, but ask about the economy, how bad it is. Every question that he asked her, she seemed to me to be nervous, but more importantly, it was like happy talk. She didn't sound serious at all. They don't talk about, and I know this is a local news station, but y'all don't touch on foreign policy with this woman in a deep way, not in a little blase way. But what are we going to do about the economy? What are we going to do about the migrant situation? What are we going to do about inflation and gas prices, price gouging, or whatever the words you all want to use? Why don't you talk about the crime in this country, in these cities and places and municipalities? The things that matter to the American people, the everyday person that got to go to work, to take care of their family or whatever. Yeah, what about that? Taking disabled kids off the, not the chip roll, but the other thing, the Medicaid and all of that stuff, and giving it to people who don't belong here. We're talking about a slew of things that we talk about. They're talking about everything else except what we talk about. So when you ask her questions, they're so softball, they make her look weak. And she's running for president. Y'all. Y'all make it sound like she's running for the Glee Club. This lady is running for the United States of America. Okay? And you guys are playing like, oh, she's running, and really technically she didn't get a vote. They just smoothed her behind up in there, but she never got a vote, a primary vote. So when you guys ask her these questions, are you just helping her? ABC? Are you helping her, or are you afraid that Trump might get in? Like, what is y'all end game? That interview was whack. I think that interview was worse than the interview she had on CNN. That was a bad interview. And if you look at Brian Taft's face, Brian Taft's face was like, okay, because there was so much word salad. He asked her about the economic opportunity plan, and she went into a baby crib, and she went into this, and she went into that, and she went into this, and then that, and everything was jumbled up in the capacity, and, and this, and that, and all of this, and that of that, and she was just making up stuff as she was talking, talking about, I love small business owners, and I'm a small business owner, and I've never known that. But okay, great, fine. You all right. You love small business owners, so I just want to know what you're going to do. Now that you talk about that, she said she's going to give startups $50,000. I've been in my business for 2019, it'll be 6 years, small business owner. Okay, yeah, I understand that, but I didn't feel any economic boost, even me as a small business owner, with inflation, with me having to buy products wholesale. They went up on shipping and everything because of the economy. You're not speaking to the small business owner. Brian Taft, all of them. When you ask this lady questions, whether CNN, Dana, I forgot her last name, Bash, Dana Bash, and all of them, when you guys ask these questions, you do need to think about asking about the small business owner. Think about the manufacturer, the union worker, those who are going to go on strike, the corporate worker, the white collar worker, the blue collar worker. I mean, you got a whole lot of people you need to be talking to. I mean, they talk about abortion, but really, we're not talking about that right now. And no one's talking about codifying or the abortion laws or I don't know. This election is weird. They got her just all over the place. She's talking about abortion. She doesn't have a plan for that, because if you're going to talk about abortion, then you have to have a plan about at least bringing back Roe versus Wade. They got rid of that in this administration. Let's just be clear. They didn't get it done during the Trump administration, the Obama, the Bush, the Clinton, the Bush 1, the Reagan, Nixon. They didn't do none of that during those times. Oh, Biden and Harris, now they want to go ahead and do it. So I'm saying they got rid of Roe versus Wade under their administration. And you talking about, okay, we're going to do something, we're going to bring something, we're going to try to fix this abortion thing. Okay, what's your plan? Brian Taft and all of y'all should be asking those questions. How are you going to bring it back? Now, let's talk about inflation. Business owners are suffering through this administration with inflation. Gas prices, shipping prices, delivery prices, okay? Vending costs, overhead, business, your business loans, okay? All of those things are going up. Capital, all of that is going up. What's your plan? No one never asked her about that. Then, when you talk about migrants, what's your plan? No one talks about that. So, you have all these issues on the table. Okay? Foreign policy, Ukraine, all of that. What are you going to do? Are you going to stop the war? What's your plan? Or are you just going to keep letting that money flow out of our money, flow out of here, and go over to other places? What's your plan to stop that so we can have peace in this region? Peace in the world, peace in the country. What's your plan? She ain't got a plan, I'm telling y'all. So, interviewing her is just a way of saying, because for the last 35, 45 days, everybody was saying, when is she going to have an interview? So now she got to have interviews, because if she doesn't, it's going to look bad. But the interviews that she's having are not credible. They're not so much credible. That's not a good word. They're just not. I don't learn. I can't learn nothing from her. I haven't learned anything from her to say, oh man, I learned so much out of this. Because I'm an undecided voter. I learned so much from Kamala, and she's saying this and what she gonna do, and she's already doing it, even because she's still in the White House, and Biden is asleep while she's doing her thing. She's making things happen. She's a bad boss, Oh no, she ain't doing none of that. None of it. So, like I said before, yes, I am an undecided voter. But at the same time, I'm just saying, look, y'all go ahead and vote for this chick. But like I said before, these interviews and the stuff I'm listening to with her, it don't sound right, guys. It don't sound right at all. And all we want in this country is to know what your plan is, Kamala Harris. What's your plan? You having these interviews. I heard she's supposed to be interviewing with Oprah Winfrey. Okay. Softball again. It'll be goofball conversation. It'll be, yeah, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite car? yeah, uh, what's your favorite diner? And yeah, I like to eat over there. And I love to cook. I love collard greens and biscuits. Oh, I make my biscuits with bacon. And my little baby nieces, oh, they love my hot dogs and my spaghetti. It's that conversation with Oprah. She ain't gonna learn, no one's gonna learn nothing by her sitting down with Oprah. Okay? She needs to sit with the guys on NBC, Fox, Newsmax, maybe do a few more interviews on CNN. You know, those places, CBS. I mean, Oprah, really? Like I said, what's your plan? These interviews ain't helping. They're not helping at all. Kamala, they're not helping.